This is the Hummingbird News Channel, where we keep you up to date with news from across Jamaica. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And now the details.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Dean and I'll be singing you Rude by Samantha J.
Call for more Dean leads as DPP rules against murder charge. The police are again appealing to anyone with information on the disappearance of the visually impaired university student Jasmine Dean to come forward. This is in light of last month's ruling from Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Paula Llewellyn that the two men who were found with the young woman's phone and debit card should not be charged with murder as the evidence against them did not meet the threshold. The duo, 40-year-old Tamar Henry, otherwise called Braff and Lavish, of Bull Bay, St. Andrew, and 36-year-old Gregory Wright, otherwise called G, were charged last April with 8 counts of possession of identity information, 8 counts of unauthorized access to computer data, and a simple larceny. Henry was also charged with possession of identity information and breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. But according to Jamaica Constabulary Force Senior Communications Strategist Dennis Brooks, the DPP has however recommended that more investigation be done. Brooks, in the meantime, is calling for citizens who may have information about the missing university student to report what they know to the police. Dean was last seen on Thursday, February 27, 2020, in Papine, St. Andrew, wearing a white blouse and blue jeans. The police, following her disappearance, had disclosed that it had closed-circuit camera footage showing her boarding a taxi at the Irving Hall gate of the St. Andrew-based university sometime before 10 p.m. Meanwhile, Crime Stop is offering a reward of $350,000 for Dean's safe return. Court frees men charged with shooting at cops in Ambrook Lane. 2 men accused of firing on a police team, injuring one of them in January, were yesterday acquitted when they appeared in the Home Circuit Court. The court was told that on the night of the incident, a police team was patrolling the Ambrook Lane community in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, when they encountered a group of men, one of whom was suspected to be armed with an illegal firearm. In attempting to accost the man, a shootout ensued between police and the group of men, resulting in one of the cops being shot and the police vehicle being damaged by gunshots. After the injured policeman was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital for treatment, the 2 accused men, Raheem Tulloch and Al Johnson, arrived at the hospital, indicating that they were shot in the Ambrook Lane community by unknown assailants. They were then arrested by the police, who identified them as being among the group of men who were firing at them earlier. But Tulloch and Anderson, who were represented at their trial by attorneys C.J. Mitchell and Kemar Robinson, argued that they were mere victims of the shootout and not perpetrators. They argued that the police were mistaken in identifying them as being amongst the shooters and only charged them because they turned up at the hospital suffering from gunshot wounds received in the said community. The trial judge, in acquitting the men, agreed with their lawyers that the quality of the identification was such that doubt was cast in the testimony of the police officers. Trelawney crab theft. Farmer loses almost entire cast. Crab farmer Jermaine Morris woke up to find his backyard pen almost empty this morning. Morris says 95% of his crabs, worth about $200,000, were stolen last night. He was alerted by his barking dogs about 2 a.m. I went outside to look. I realized that someone broke into one of my crab pens, he said. This is not the first time Morris's crabs have been stolen, but it is the biggest hit. I know it is a product that it is in great demand. It could be a case where someone was in the bush hunting and saw my crab pen and decided to steal all of them, Morris said. The 42-year-old businessman from Rock District near Falmouth, Trelawney, was featured in yesterday's Gleaner. He had detailed plans to expand his business to ultimately tap into the export market. The farmer also says his spirit is not broken and he is still seeking to secure his business against a repeat raid. I hope whatever money they got, they put it to use because this is the last time, he said. Stepfather of Hanover teen arrested in sexual abuse case. The stepfather of the 15-year-old girl who was allegedly molested by a nursing assistant at the Noel Holmes Hospital in Lucy, Hanover, is now in police custody. He is also accused of sexually assaulting the girl. The frustrated teen had ended up in hospital after taking an overdose of pills in an attempt to take her own life. It was during her hospitalization that she was reportedly molested by the nursing assistant. The employee has since been arrested and charged. Taxi operators in Hope Bay, Portland protest for fare increase. Scores of commuters were left stranded in Hope Bay, Portland this morning after taxi operators withdrew their services as they called for a fare increase from the government. The more than 30 taxi operators took to the streets from as early as 7 o'clock in a peaceful protest in the town center, leaving commuters stranded for more than 4 hours. A spokesperson from the group, Michael Grant, said that the increase in gas price has created undue hardships for operators and that they are finding it extremely difficult to cope with the existing taxi fare. We have not had a fare increase in more than 4 years, yet still gas price continue to increase almost every other day, Grant argued. A majority of us do not own a vehicle and therefore we have to work to pay ourselves. It is really tough and we can't even carry no full load again. Our bosses expect to still collect the $20,000 per week from us and we still have to feed our families, he further argued. According to the taxi operators, their plight is further compounded by COVID-19 restrictions, such as the rule to carry one less passenger and the curfew order, which they say has significantly affected their earnings, especially on weekends. The operators have vowed to continue their protest to get a fare increase. 2 more COVID-19 deaths, 45 additional cases. Jamaica has recorded 2 more COVID-19 fatalities, increasing the tally to 951. The deceased are an 80-year-old woman from Clarendon and a 95-year-old female from St. Anne. 1 more case has been recorded as a coincidental death, pushing the tally to 147. Meanwhile, there were 45 new cases with ages ranging from 5 to 92 years, pushing the total to 48,639, with 21,688 being active. Of the new cases, 25 are women and 20 are men. St. Catherine dominates the new cases with 20 being recorded, followed by Manchester with 6. The country's positivity rate stands at 6.2%. A total of 2,752 tests were conducted. In the meantime, there were 137 new recoveries, moving the total to 25,622. Some 156 people are in hospital, with 38 being moderately ill and 15 critically ill. No one is in government quarantine, while 35,021 are at home. And those were the stories making the news. Stay safe and have a pleasant evening. This is the Hummingbird News Channel, where we keep you up to date with news from across Jamaica. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell so you can keep up to date with our new uploads. Until next time, be the change that you wish to see in the world.